Good morning, fifth graders. Today we are working on, here we go. Today we are working on multiplying decimals. We're finishing that up. And then tomorrow when you come to my live session, we're gonna review all the multiplying decimals that we've been doing. And then we'll have our quiz on Friday. So today we're gonna work on page 339 and 340 in our volume 2 workbooks. And then you have ST Math to do. There's a flip grid for you, and it's a special flip grid. So make sure you read about it in the checklist. And then I did provide an example for you in flip grid, and there's a huge explanation in flip grid for you as well to help you with today's flip grid. So have fun with it, and I cannot wait to see what you guys come up with for today's flip grid. It's going to be awesome. All right, and then ST Math, iReady Math. Remember, our milestone and our comprehension checks are both in iReady, so make sure you finish those. And then today's science is mystery science on it's on, of course, ecosystems. I'm tired. Of course, it's on ecosystems, and it's specifically on decomposers, which is a huge part of our ecosystems and how they thrive and the circle of life in the ecosystem. So, okay, well, let's go ahead and get to our pages today. So we have practice multiplying with decimals, page 339. So we have an example here, and we have, I'm going to choose red today. Whoops. Okay, let's try that again. All right, there's red. Okay, we're gonna, let me make this a little bit smaller so we can see more of the page. And we are working on the example right now, gives us a grid. And this is just like our area model, right? Here's our area model. And then they added up everything that they found inside the area model, and they got this answer. So we're gonna do an area model for number 1. It says complete the area model, find the product of 2 3/10 times 1 5/10. So we have 1 plus 5/10 because we broke up our 1 5/10 here. So let me circle that for you. And then we're going to write on the 2 blanks what 2 3/10 is. So that would be a 2. And then 3/10, so 0.3. Here we go. So that slash is actually a decimal point. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and multiply. So 2 times 1 is 2. We already did that. So 2 times 5/10. Well, we know that 2 times 5 is 10, so I'm going to go ahead and put 10 here. And it has 1 decimal point. So 1 decimal point means that it is going to go here. There, that's what that little slash is. It's going to be the decimal point. So it becomes 1.0. Okay, then we have 3/10 times 1, which is 3/10. Okay, my pen is not liking me today. Let me try the other side. And then 3/10 times 5/10. Let's start with 3 times 5. So 3 times 5 is 15. And we have 2 decimal points. So 2 decimal points. So it ends up being 1,500. So that line is a decimal. This program is not liking the decimals. Okay, and then if we add everything together, so I'm going to add it over here on the side. So we have 2, which means it's 2.0, 2.00. And then we have 1.0, so 1.00. And then we have 3/10, so that would be 0.3. And then we can put a 0 here as a placeholder. And then we have 0.15. And we're going to add all that up. So we get 5 here. And then 3 plus 1 is 4 decimal point. 2 plus 1 is 3. So our answer is 3.45. So I'll put that on the blank line here. There we go. Okay, number 2. How would the area model in problem number 1 need to change if the factor 2.3 was changed to 12.3? Well, we're adding a whole nother 10 here. So what that means is our area model, I'm going to draw it, and it would change to 10 plus 2, that's supposed to be a 2, plus 0.3, so 0. Let me try here, 0.3. So our area model has changed because here it was just 2.03, but now we have to add a 10 in there. So it'd be 10 plus 2 plus 0.3. So that's how it would change. So we're adding a 10 here. So I want to just go ahead and I'm going to type that up right here. We're adding a 10 to multiply. Okay? Now let's go ahead and do number 3. Number 3 says use numbers from the box to complete these equations. So here would be the answers, and we're going to multiply. Well, I know that 8 times 8 is 64. So I'm going to go ahead and type that in. So that's 64. And I have 2 decimal spaces. So if I have 2 decimal spaces, that means my answer is actually going to be 0.64 because there's 2 decimal spaces after the decimal, just like there are 2 decimal, there's 1 here. Let me see, let me try that again. 1 here. I'm going to try that again. 1 here. No, you're still not going to work with me. And 1 here. There we go. Okay, so now that one's done. I'm going to cross off 0.64 because we are done with that one. And now we're going to do 0.88 times 1.1. I'm going to actually work that one out over here on the side just to show you. So I'm going to do 1.1 on top. Okay, I'm just going to write 11 because we'll add in the decimals after since my computer's not liking writing decimals. And I'm going to put 88 here. And at the end, we will count all of our decimals. So we have 8 times 1, which is 8. And we have 8 times 1, which is 8. And that one's done. And I'm going to put my 0 here. And then I'm going to do 8 times 1, which is 8. And then 8 times 1 again, which is 8. And I will add that. So 8 plus 0 is 8. 8 plus 8 is 16. Here's my 6. I'm going to carry my 1. And then 8 plus 1 is 9. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my problem and I'm going to count how many decimal spaces come after the decimal. So we have 2 right here for 8.88 and we have 1 for 0.1 for a total of 3. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to put my decimal point. So let's find that in our box, and then we'll put it into answer B. So answer B, I'm just going to go ahead and put B is 0.968. And that is right here. So I'm just going to cross that one out. Okay, now we're on letter C. So 8.8 times 1.1. Well, I'm multiplying the same numbers, 88 and 11, if you don't think about the decimals. Since I'm multiplying the same numbers, I know that my answer is right here, 968. But what's going to change is where the decimals are at. So I'm going to go ahead and type in letter C is, I'm going to just type in 968 for right now. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to counting the decimals. Okay, so how many spaces come after the decimal? So for letter C, we have 1 after 8. So it's 8.8, so there's 1. Okay. Come on. Sometimes it wants to work for me, and sometimes it doesn't. Let's try it again. So there's 1 here, and then there's 1 here. So that means there's 2 decimal spaces. So that means if I'm going to do 2 decimal spaces, that answer is going to be B is 9.68. Which makes sense because that's the only one that's left in our box. So I'm going to cross that one out. All right, we just have one more, and that is 8.8 times 0.1. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, 8.8 times 1 is going to be 8.8, right? So 88 times 1 is going to be 88. So our 2 answers left are either going to be this one or this one. That's what we have to decide now. So we have 1 decimal point here, or 1 space after the decimal, and we have 1 space after the decimal here. Total of 2 spaces. So this one, 0.88, is what shows 2 decimal spaces after, right? So I'm just going to write it right here real quick. 0. That's not a comma. Let me erase that. Try a point. And then 88. Okay, number 4. Natalie's family drank 9/10 of the 2 6/10 liters of lemonade she made for a picnic. How much lemonade did her family drink? So if we're going to multiply 2 and 6/10 times 9/10 here. So let's go ahead and do that. That's 2. I'm going to do 2. Okay, that looks weird. Let's erase that. Okay, so we're going to do 2.6 times 0.9. 0.9. Okay. What is 9 times 6? 54, right? So I'm going to put my 4 here, and my 5 goes above. Then I do 9 times 2, which is 18. And then 18 plus 5, that's 23, right? So 20 and 3. And then we have 1 space after the decimal here, and 1 space after the decimal here, which is a total of 2 spaces. So I'm going to put 1, there's 1 space, there's 2 spaces, so my decimal is going to go right there. So then the answer is 2 and 34 hundredths of a liter. So we're going to put liters here. Well, that is an S. Okay, number 5. Oh, that's our last problem. So this is going to be your exit ticket. The Vargas School grows lettuce and other vegetables for school lunches. The school garden is a rectangle that is 8 4/10 meters long and 6 4/10 meters wide. A rectangular section used to grow lettuce is 2 2/10 meter long and 8/10 meter wide. How many square meters of ground does the garden cover? How many square meters of garden is used to grow lettuce? Show your work. So you're actually doing 2 problems here. You are going to multiply how much the garden is going to cover, which is 8.4 times 6.4. And then how much is the lettuce? How much of that section is going to grow lettuce? So that's going to be 2.2 times 0.8. So I'm going to start off your problems for you. So we're going to do 8.4 times 6.4. That's going to be your first problem, and that answer is going to go here. And then you're going to do 2.2 times 0.8. And that answer is going to go for the lettuce right there. And there you go. Okay. So the only thing that I didn't put in here was the decimal points. Let me just add that real quick. So just don't forget to count your decimal points at the very end after multiplying. And you are done. Check your answers in Canvas. I provided the answer key for you. And that's it. So your checklist, this is pretty much done. You just have to finish up number 5. And then ST Math, the Flipgrid video, and Mystery Science, Decomposers. So That's going to be fun. All right, you guys, I can't wait to see you tomorrow.